Hi, I'm doing Paul McWhorter's Pico W lessons, and I'm currently up to lesson number 75, which is all about using an infrared remote control with a little infrared receiver on your Pico W. Now, I managed to blow up my receiver, and I think it's because I had the wrong software installed. If I'd actually installed the Sunfounder stuff, it would have been okay. I'm also not using the Sunfounder one, I'm using Eligoo one that came in an Arduino kit. But it ought to have worked, but I wired it up wrong, obviously. I've heard from other people that you can wire it up wrong. So, stupid Madame Swift. Now, I will just show you my program because I was quite pleased with how it was going before everything went horribly wrong. That's just to avoid using globals. So I have defined here all these functions that don't actually do anything, but it means that if you keep your finger pressed on the button for a long time, then it calls that function. Then there's a function for power pressed, volume up, stop. These are all the things written on my Eligoo control. So it would be different for the other one, but the theory is the same. Now, so that's all of those. And then as well as that, you have the digits. And I thought anyone in their right mind would have made it so you could just take off 50 and you'd get the right number, but no. So you have to decode the digit. So I will show you what I'm actually doing. Right, that's the end of the program. Now, in the while true loop, Paul, because his he hasn't blown up his IR bit, he just had pass there. So that bit there is just faking input from the keyboard. No, not from the keyboard, from the little remote control. And so that calls callback, and callback is working exactly the same regardless of where the input comes from. So first of all, I'm saying, is the remote control on? If it is on, then it will take notice of what keys you're pressing, but if it's off, it will only respond to power on. So that is what that does. Whoops, I don't know what happened there. Hold on. That is what that bit does. So it's either it's on or you've hit the power key. And then I've got this try and accept. So I go key pressed IR bit. And what that does is it looks in this dictionary and it says, right, if it's 69, say, it will go power pressed. And you think, what is power pressed? Power pressed is a function. So all you need to do is you look up the key for the IR bit, and then you put bracket after it, and it will call that function, which I think is great. Apart from, if you're pressing one of, that is just all the function keys. If you're pressing a digit key, I'm going off and doing something else. So that's where the key error comes in, and it goes number pressed for the IR bit. Oh, I'll just show what happens when I press power pressed. If you press the power key, if it's on, it turns it off. If it's off, it turns it on. Pretty simple. None of the other functions do anything at the moment. It's just that I wanted to show everybody that you can have functions in a dictionary. So this number pressed is passing the number that came from the code that came from the little keypad thing. So it is looking up in there and it'll get the digit. and then it takes a digit and it puts it in a string of digits. So if you press the keys 1, 5, 9, for example, it would come in with a 12, then it would come in with a 28, then it would come with a 74, and it stores it all in a nice string of digits. It doesn't do anything with it at the moment, but you know, this is just showing that you can do what you can do with dictionaries. And then if it doesn't find the key, I've just put print wrong IRS setup, while really it ought to just go completely bang. Either quit it, or if I didn't put in the try and accept, it would just crash, which would probably be better. So maybe I just ought to run the program and see what happens. Right, enter fake. Now think that I'm pressing, I don't know, think that I'm pressing the digit 3, so that ought to be 94. Well, it doesn't do anything. 74, no. 66, no. And you think, it's because I haven't turned it on. So if I go 69, it says it's called the powered press function and it's turned on the remote control, which is great. Now let's have a look to see what other things we have. No, not there, not there, not there, not there. Right, no, not there. There, that's my nice dictionary. I'll go 70. Volume up pressed. 25. EQ pressed. Then if I put in something, -1. Yep, that's repeat chord. And this is just simulating the input that you would get from the keypad if I hadn't broken it. And then I can put in numbers. So if I put in 12, that means I press the 1. And if I put in 24, that's a 2. And as you can see, it's saving this string of digits that you can do something with. So I'll go 74. It isn't exactly working exactly as I want it to. If I go 69, I've turned the remote off, so I can go 23. No, it just ignores any input if the remote control is on. I will get out of that. So if you're using the Sunfounder, if you're sensible and you're using the Sunfounder remote control, then those will all be different, but easy to find out. You just look to see what it says on the key and make the required function, and you press it and you put that number in there. So hopefully this really isn't anything to do with the infrared controller, because it doesn't work. This is to do with being able to put functions into a dictionary, that you just put the function name and then you just down here you go key pressed, square bracket, whatever it is, close square bracket, 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 and it works. So I hope that will help people.